Alright guys, today we're going to be making ice cream scoops for our lids for the ice cream tumblers. We're going to be using Counterculture DIY epoxy sculpt to create this. You are going to be using equal parts of A and B, and we're just going to mix them together and put them on top of our lid. You need to grab some gloves because you do not want to use this without proper protection. And we're also going to grab our lid. This is for a 20-ounce slim tumbler, so it has just the slide lid on it. You want to make sure that it is in the open position because we are going to be placing our scoops directly on this lid. With the epoxy sculpt, it is a mixture of two parts, A and B, and it does have epoxy in it, so it is safe to get wet. It's not going to mess up your scoop at all, like the spackling or anything like that. So you're going to take equal parts . And I just scoop it out with my hand and form it into a ball. Like so. Now I'm going to get my other part and do the same thing. Scoop it out of my jar. And I want to grab enough so that they are equal. You just want to make sure that they're equal and then start mixing them together. Almost like dough, you just knead them. And you want to just make sure that you get it all mixed together. The more you mix it, the softer. It is pretty soft to begin with, but the more you mix it, the softer it is. So it kind of warms up a little bit with your touch. And I always like to start off with less. I can always mix up more. I'd rather do that than mix too much and not have anything to use it for. I don't want to waste any of my product. It doesn't take much to get it mixed. Okay, now we've got a nice consistency here. It's all mixed together. And we are going to bring our lid over, and I'm going to take a small amount of my mixture, and I'm going to start by pressing it down on the lid. I want to do this so that I don't have any open areas, any pockets of the lid that will trap moisture. We want to make sure that it is completely covered and sealed. That way we don't get any bacteria growth underneath there. You can wash your lid and not worry about it at all. When I get up to the lip, I kind of pinch it just to get it to where that opening is still there. Now I don't have to worry too much about it because I'm going to put an opening in my scoops once I get them on there. But just gently press it down so that you're getting good coverage, making sure you're not missing any areas. And you want it flush right up with the lip of that lid. All right, now we've got that full with our mixture. We are going to take our ice cream scooper or cookie scooper. This is a medium sized, and we're going to take, I just like to take a little ball about the size of the scoop and press it down in there so that I get a good round scoop to it. Doesn't quite fill my scooper, so I'm going to grab just a little bit more and press that in there. And I want to get a little bit of overflow, so I just continue to press on the sides. Kind of pat it down on there. Now we've got our scoop in, and all we're going to do is take and gently press it onto our lid and scoop it off. So you can see how we've got our little ice cream scoop. Perfect. Now we're going to do that again because I want to do one more scoop. And I'm going to pack this in and get it overflowing on the sides. And I'm going to add it right there. I'm going to gently press it down and release my scoop. Like so. Now I think I want to do one more. So I'm going to mix up some more of my mixture. And make sure that my amounts are equal. And this one's got a little bit more to it, so I'm going to add a little bit more of my part B. And again, just make sure that they're equal, and then I'm going to mix them together. Now, you could have about 3 to 4 hours work time with the epoxy sculpt. So if you feel like you don't quite like one of your scoops, you can always take it off and redo it. I'm grabbing any little pieces that are falling down out of my mix. Alright, so we've got that mixed up. Let's say I don't like this one. I don't like where it's at. So I'm going to take it off, and I can just mash it back in there, and I'll start over. So again, push it down into my scooper. Make sure I have a little overflow with it. Then put it right back on my lid, right like so. And then we'll take this last one and push it down in there. And there we have our scoops. We can actually do even one more on there. Now, we have the straw hole. We need to get that. So all I'm going to do is take a dowel rod, or you can use one of your reusable straws, and I'm going to place that in the hole from the bottom, and I'm going to just gently twist it up until it pops through the top, just like so. Now I'm going to bring it right back down, and I'm going to go through that hole, and I'm just going to kind of work it around and spread it out and just gently push on it so that I have an opening for my straw once this dries. Now at this point, if you want to add sprinkles, you want to touch it up, you can. If you just don't like anything about this and you want to start over, scrap it off and you can make new scoops. Alright, now if you're messy like me, after you get your scoop on, if you have a lot of extra from your gloves on your lid, you're gonna take a baby wipe and clean that up really, really good. You don't wanna leave any of that on there because it will harden and cure, and then it'll be kind of hard to get off. So just run your baby wipe all through there. If you feel more comfortable, you can tape your lid off before you do it. You might not be as messy as me and you may not need to, but this will wipe right off with a baby wipe. And then we are gonna let this cure. I'm not putting any sprinkles on this, but if you were to put sprinkles on it, you would take them and just gently press them down into it. Let that cure 3 to 4 hours, and then you are ready to use. If you want, get it to focus here. 3 to 4 hours and you're ready to use. These are the sprinkles. They are pressed down into the epoxy, so you're not worried about them coming off. You can wash this. You have a hole for your straw, and you're ready to go. If you want, you can take and put a light layer of epoxy over the top of it to give it a shiny, glossy look. I personally like the matte finish. I think it looks more realistic. It is not coming off. You can wash this, wash the inside of it, and you're ready to go. How cute are those? All right, now you can, if you want, to tint your epoxy sculpt. After you've got it all mixed up together, you can take dispersion colors or even acrylic paint, and you can add just a little bit of color to your mix. It doesn't take much if you're using the dispersion colors. If you're using an acrylic paint or a dry pigment like mica, it's going to take just a little bit more. And you have to remember, you're mixing your color into white. So your color is not going to be as vibrant as it's going to look in the bottle. So just mix that together. And once you get it mixed up, if that's not enough, you don't like that color, you can always add more. And all I'm doing is just making a little well, and I just put a drop of the color in there. I start off with a little bit and I gradually increase. It's easier for me to add more than to have too much. So just kneading it together to get that colorant mixed into it. And there you have it. Up now your tinted pink. And you would do the same thing. Just press it down into your mold or into your scooper. Press it down into your scooper. And then you can place it on your item. Now, if you don't like your scoop, just mix it back up. And put it back in there. You have about 2.5 to 3 hours working time. There you have a cute little pink scoop.